Yeah. Sounds like it's gonna be a good time.
I think so too. But wapapa, wapapa. Hi everyone. Hello. Welcome. Welcome to the Host in the Shell podcast. Hello. Hiya. I hope everyone is doing absolutely amazing today. Hiya. Well, let me slide up a little bit. So, for all of you that are new here and maybe don't know me, I'm Jsizzle, the Tamagotchi VTuber, and I host the Host in the Shell podcast. I sit down with different creatives and talk about their passion. And today, I have a very, very special guest who is cooking something up. No pun intended. So, dear guest, please introduce yourself.
Hey guys, I am Jsizzle. I make VTuber inspired dishes. I just really like cooking, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, perfect. Alrighty, guys. So, we have a bunch of cool food pictures to share with you, and that will basically show you how Jsizzle comes up with all these amazing recipes, and I'm so excited to learn more about that. Yeah, Ghost is saying cooking is always a lot of fun. Definitely that. So, my first question for you is, the first thing I want to know. So you say you do VTuber inspired recipes, but you know, what does that really mean? Like, how is a recipe inspired by a VTuber?
Well, it's kind of it's a wild process. So essentially, I kind of go based off like the VTuber's personality, plus like their aesthetics and who they are as a person, and how like they treat like beauty and everything else. And I use that to create like this idea of like how I envision a VTuber, and then use the idea to create like the concepts for the dishes that I make, and then use those concepts to actually create the recipes or like pick a certain ingredients that best represent the VTuber, and then I use those ingredients to actually make the food that you see.
So, for example, when a VTuber is really spicy in their content, would you make more of like a spicy dish? Something hearty, maybe?
It kind of just depends, because like I know that if they're like spicy and that was like their only thing, then probably. But I know there's like I always try to look for something like a little bit deeper of a layer. So sometimes even if they make like if they're like a bit spicy, sometimes I add a bit of sweetness to it to kind of like counteract. Or sometimes I'll get like overall spicy, but then it has like something like underlining it, like savory, or something just like mixed in for a little bit of surprise, kind of like showing like there are two different dynamics.
Because every creator is, of course, multifaceted. I think it's probably really rare to have someone who's really only one thing, right?
Yeah.
They're like all their own person and all that. So right now I'm putting up some recipes. Oh, thank you for following me. Thank you. I'm putting up some recipes. I'm just resizing them real quick. And just so my viewers can have an idea of how a finished VTuber recipe could look like. Let me see, I'll put this one like here for now. I'm gonna put up a third one. Yeah, just so you guys can see basically how amazing and mouth-watering these look. When I saw them, I got really hungry. I immediately wanted to have a snack. I think it was this one. This one's really nice. Let me put this one in here as well. So, here are your food photos for now. You guys can see how they look like. They're all super tasty. I really like is it like hot chocolate and pastry on the one with the cup?
That
yeah, looks really good.
It is it's French style hot chocolate. And then stuff with like a goat cheese, like peaches, pretty much stuff croissant stuff with goat cheese and peaches.
That sounds like a divine combo. Oh, now I want something like that. But tell me, what's your favorite part of like your content creation journey? So for you, cooking and baking wise, what's your favorite part when you come up with a VTuber recipe?
Honestly, I would probably say my favorite part is definitely the VTuber research. Because I like the way that I do it is I do like a super deep dive into how like understand like sometimes I talk to VTubers directly, or sometimes I also go see your streams as well. It's kind of like I try to be a part of the community of that VTuber to kind of see who that VTuber truly is. So I think that's the funnest part.
Tethera, thank you for the follow. But yeah, I can definitely imagine, just because like all of our communities are so different, and sometimes the design of a VTuber can be really misleading on first glance. Like there are some people who look really lewd, but then, you know, their personality is as sweet as a cupcake. Or when they're like, you know, they're like the evil queen demon character, but their personality is really, really sweet. And then on the other hand, you have those who look really unassuming and really tame, but then, you know, they are the biggest devils secretly. So I can imagine just like diving into each community must be really cool to just kind of see what places they are and what kind of people like delve there, you know? Like I can really imagine that it's fun to immerse yourself in that. Also, Tethera says, hi there, I found you by chance and like your concept. Thank you! Thank you, thank you! Yeah, I'm really glad you like my concept. And someone redeemed the chibi model. So it's time to transform myself. Wow. Just let me get up a little bit so you guys can still see me really well. And so like the VTuber research, that's your favorite part, but what is the hardest part of creating a VTuber dish?
I'd probably say the hardest part is definitely trying to find the way to express the VTuber properly. Like trying to understand the VTuber well enough to incorporate them in the dish is like the hardest part because I have to find something like best represents them, which is like not an easy task.
Did you ever have like a moment where you didn't know and like at first how to really get their personality across? Where you were really kind of like lost at the beginning?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We'll take the most recent one I did today as a prime example of that. Because yeah, don't get me wrong, the VTubers that I used for today, some of them I was trying to make a dish for them for like months, but I couldn't find a dish to like best represents them or best coagulates them. So sometimes I do that with like more than one VTuber as well. Because sometimes, although you'll get like a singular VTuber that has like this one dish idea, like oh, this VTuber makes me think of like rice cakes or something crazy, and then like I introduce another VTuber to the mix, kind of to like bring on and spur new ideas, and then create something new. So it's not just like a plain dish; it's something a bit more greater and unique.
And like all the dishes you make, they're like all so different. Like so far I haven't seen any dish that really had like, you know, like a double.
Yeah, that's also a very difficult part. Try to, make sure try not to copy too much, Try to always expand my horizons and try to, like I said, best express the VTuber in their own unique way.
And I think you're doing a really great job at that.
Thank
I always like seeing what you come up with. Like I am always looking forward to the food pictures. I'm always just like, yeah, more food pictures on my timeline, and I always click on the VTuber profiles, and then I kind of like guess along, and I'm like, yeah, you know, I can see that. I could see this VTuber being like this dish. So I really like the work that you do.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's like I said, it's a wild process. So some inspiration is obvious, some inspiration is not as obvious.
But I think that's kind of like the art of it in a way. I think it really, you know, it really says something about you that you're always able to see like the best in someone and turn it into such a creative idea. Because I can assure you, like, many creators are struggling with like imposter syndrome or other things that makes them think, you know, maybe they're not doing enough. So I can just imagine that for someone to wake up and see, you know, you turned them into a dish, figuratively, not literally. I don't think you're using sheep VTubers or cow VTubers for your recipes, but I think turning someone into a recipe, you know, figuratively, I think that's a really sweet idea, and I can definitely imagine it, you know, like making their day to see something like that. I think that's really sweet. No pun intended.
Yeah, no, I'm so happy to hear you say that because when I first started doing this, I was incredibly nervous doing this. Like, definitely something I had to get used to over time. And as I continued to progress, I learned to be more creative and allow myself to be more creative, especially because, you know, being like considered a professional chef, when I first started, I held back my skills only to simply because I was like, I'm too afraid to like fully showcase. And then I eventually got more comfortable on the internet and eventually just started showcasing more skills and trying to like, you know, expand and try like to do things I'm not really good at, such as baking.
Tethira asks, how have the VTubers reacted to the food? Have any of them tried the food?
Honestly, I mean, all the VTubers so far just like loved it. They're like, they love the idea. They love the dishes. None of them actually tried it. They wish a lot of VTubers wish they tried it. Uh, but yeah, not no VTubers yet. I usually just give it to. Well, I used to give it to my old roommate. He used to try them all, or sometimes I just give it to my friends or give it to my coworkers and just like, here, I made this VTuber dish yesterday. You guys can try it.
Oh, that's so nice though, so that, you know, it's getting eaten at the end of the day, and I think that's also really important. I kind of feel like, you know, it would be a bit sad if it would just kind of be used for a photo and then like discarded, but I think actually eating it is also part of the process. Like, I can imagine you probably enjoyed a couple of them as well because they all look amazing. Like, definitely. I'd love to try one of those one day. They all look really tasty.
Yeah, I get just only try a few. I mean, cooking for me is different for like cooking for a lot of other people because I mean, cooking all you know when you cook all the time and like you make a lot of these different dishes. To me, it's like I said, it's just another form of like expression. But otherwise than that, I like making the food, but I don't really like tasting the food. Well, I taste it, but I don't like actually eating it. Like once it's done, I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna make myself a ham sandwich.
It was the same for me. I used to work in a hotel and I had to work in the hotel kitchen for 5 months. So I know how it is. Like, for me, I'd work in the morning in the breakfast kitchen and make like all the tasty breakfast food. But I never could like eat it because by the time my shift was over, I just smelled like grease and food, and I just, you know, I needed like a break and to eat something completely different than like all the smells and like things that I tasted during the day, if that makes sense. Like, personally. Like,
Yeah,
I always need the palate cleanser is what I'm trying to say. My nose was weak when I worked in the kitchen.
yeah, no, I felt the pain. I feel your pain.
Yeah, like, working in a big kitchen is really, really hard. Like you said, you're a chef by daylight as well. Like, that's your profession. So I can only imagine like when it gets really busy in a restaurant or in a hotel or like an event. That takes like iron will. That stuff is a fast-paced working environment for sure. To say it gently, like working in a kitchen is no joke.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you get used to it after a while, but man, it kind of gets crazy.
For
But
me, it was also. Oh, sorry, I cut you off. Sorry.
sorry, no, you're all good. You're all good. I was just saying, yeah, but that's also why I kind of like do these because it gives me a lot more creativity for like my own food instead of just like going off like a set menu.
Like, definitely. Analog says, cooking is an expression. What you're making says what you are. In your case, your cooking says that you're a very talented person. And Ghost Smoke said, that person who tastes your food is very lucky.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, first, thank you for the compliment. I don't. I think I'm okay. I don't know if I consider myself talented yet. I still got a long way to go in my cooking career. As for the person, yeah, I mean, whoever eats my food, sometimes whoever decides on the day, I don't know, they get my weird experiments too, so it kind of balances.
So I heard recently, and I saw it in one of your posts, there was a recipe that actually took you a couple of attempts to get it right. Do you want to talk a bit about that?
Ah, yes, it's actually the one you have up, that the cake. That one took me 3 different attempts to actually bake it right. Because the very first, because I made it in air fryer, so the very first attempt was because I had turned the air fryer on too high, and it cooked on the outside really well, but on the inside it just collapsed because it was undercooked.
Ugh.
So yeah, and then the second attempt was that it cooked thoroughly, but because of the ingredients that I added, it made it too dense, so it didn't rise properly, or it didn't have enough airiness to it. And then the third attempt is what you see right there on the screen. I
It
just
looks amazing.
thank you. I'm happy it did turn out well. I was gonna feel really bad if I failed on the third attempt.
I really like the chocolate drizzle that you did. I think that really adds to the presentation.
Yeah, it was a very last minute addition because I originally plated it, and then I saw it, and I was like, this guy needs something more pizzazz. So I was like, let me get a drizzle, chocolate drizzle, because I always have plenty of chocolate syrup and plenty of chocolate in the fridge. So I just did a quick drizzle to plate and just threw some extra orange zest and some lemon zest and lime zest on the plate.
I think the little fruit on top, is that the orange zest on top there? That looks really neat. Or is
Oh
orange just like
yeah,
the orange that you like grate, so you have like a finer like orange peel?
yeah.
Ah, see, I see.
But on top, yeah, those are just the strawberries, the blueberries, extra limes, lemons, and then a candied orange.
I see. So Ordinary Days says, I cook myself, but I choose to bring the food of my homeland, Russia, and the culture that comes with it. Even though I don't have a restaurant or anything, I cook for the people I know. Yeah, and I think that's great. Cooking is expression. Cooking is so much fun. I really like cooking as well. And Analog says,
Yeah,
I know how you're thinking. Everyone will say how great it is. Something we're making, and us artists, we think it's a medium or we can do better. I know that feeling well. Yeah, that's like an imposter syndrome, isn't it? When you yourself kind of think, I've done better things. Yeah, it could be better, but other people, they think it's neat. Me.
yeah. It's a habit. It's a habit in the kitchen because you present a dish, like okay, I did great, but how can I do better? And it's just like for me, it's kind of just like see how far I can improve because it's like I was taught to never settle, just keep constantly improving.
I think that's a good mantra. I always try to do that as a content creator myself, but it's hard sometimes because, like life gets in the way. Sometimes things don't really turn out how we want them to be, but I always kind of try to put one step in front of the other and always kind of see what can I do better for next time, like how can I make this a tiny bit better? in whatever way, shape, or form. So I want to know, what drives you to create and what do you get out of creating? Hello, hello. It might be the internet. Just let me know when your connection has recovered. Ah, he's typing. He's typing. I'll let you guys know. I'll tell you guys, but in the meantime.
Yeah. I think you lost me a bit. I can't really hear you that well.
Oh, sorry, you can't hear me that well. Yeah, let me repeat my question again then. So I asked you, what drives you to create? What do you get out of creating?
Oh yeah. So I it's just kind of a little question. So it's kind of a mix. So it's pretty much like, for me, what drives me really the most is kind of like all of you guys actually, to kind of see everyone's reaction, like to create something new, but kind of like, it's really weird because I cook inspiration for VTubers, like inspiration from VTubers, so it's kind of like I like kind of like seeing how I interpret those VTubers and seeing how they react to those interpretations. Like, wow, this is how this person views me, and wow, they transform me into a dish. That's crazy.
I think it's certainly like really unique because I have never seen anyone else who does something like you before. Like, have you guys ever seen a chef who does VTuber inspired dishes? I haven't seen that in our community. And the community gets so much like, well, there's so much drama and so much stuff and so much hate in the VTubing community. So I just thought it would be nice to kind of sit down with someone who is just spreading joy and spreading, cooking and like their creativity. Yeah, I definitely can relate how you're getting that kind of feedback and how that's like supporting you to create even more dishes. So that can be really rewarding. So, do you have any advice for creators that are just starting out, like someone who maybe doesn't know yet how to express themselves creatively?
Hmm. That's a good question, actually. Do you mean like, overall, or do you mean like food wise, or both?
Whatever you choose to answer, I'd be interested to hear like the food answer first, like from your view as like a chef. But I think any advice you can give probably, applies to artists and cosplayers and streamers alike, because in the end, it's like a way of creative expression. So yeah.
Okay. So the way that helped me, especially when I first began, like I said, uh, the second week after, like, the reason I stopped holding myself back, so like making normal food or the normal way of doing things, is essentially, especially when you start like expressing yourself creativity, you can't do it wrong because it's your interpretation. So there's no wrong way to do it, and essentially it is, you're in charge. You're the boss of your own creativity. So however you present that creativity is really up to you. So in that mindset, no one else can tell you that you're wrong. And yeah, no, essentially just like keep pushing yourself forward. And honestly, you never know what's going to truly come into your head until you start just doing it. And sometimes creative ideas don't start flowing until you're halfway through the process. Heck, or if you're like me, sometimes it doesn't happen till you're almost done, and then you revise the entire thing and redo it, and it becomes even more fun. And once you do it the first time, you can do it the second, the third time, and fourth time really easy after that. And yeah, and that's like one of the best advice I can give you. And for like food wise, sometimes I can when I plate or think of dishes, I think of I think of it as a story, and I'm trying to tell you that story from like my perspective on those kinds of characters or people. That's kind of how I plate my dishes. I try to plate it as if I'm trying to tell you something, but I can't. I don't have the words to tell you.
I really like your take on that. Like, I think I haven't heard that before from any of the guests I had here so far. I really liked how you said, you know, no one can tell you that like your interpretation of something is wrong, and you know you are the boss when you're expressing your creativity. I think that's a really good sentiment. I really like this way of viewing things. And I find that to be quite an interesting outlook. And I'm glad that, you know, your creative journey brought you to this point where you could express yourself more freely, like hearing that, you know, you're trying out like an air fryer and stuff in like unconventional ways. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Analog says, well, except VTuber cooking, do you think you will try to experiment with other forms of cooking? Like, for example, to cook different cuisines from other countries?
Yeah. Well, I'm still working on. I'm still working on it. Different cuisines. I mean, I go around. Well, actually, I travel a lot. I try to travel and try a lot of different cuisines first before I make them. Like right now, recently I tried like Indonesian food and all that, and Korean food. I've tried a lot of Korean and Indonesian food so far, and it's pretty cool. You know, I feel like for me personally, I would definitely try to expand more into like other different countries because my specialty is French style cuisine, and I'm trying to express more into like Asian cuisine, and you know that's my area right now. I'm trying to express more into Asian cuisine, trying to perfect those because those Asian countries have really cool like knife cuts and cool kind of dishes. I kind of want to like take inspiration from that.
Well, yeah, they all like come with their own like expertise you need to have, right? Because, for example, cakes are really different in Japan than they are in Germany, than they are in America, right? Like, people do things in a
Yeah,
different way across the world.
yeah. If I definitely try to go and like travel and try to like eat that particular dish first, to kind of get like the taste and the texture and the feel, and you know sometimes the restaurants are really cool, and I can actually just go back there and see how they make it.
It must be really cool for, you know, other chefs around the world where, you know, you try their dishes and you go like, holy hell, this is so nice. Like, I want to learn how to make this. That must be rewarding for other people as well. It's kind of like cultural exchange.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a fun time. I mean, especially because like America is such a big melting pot of different cultures. So sometimes you can just walk around the corner and then you meet someone from a different country, and they're like, "Oh, you're interested in trying this dish? Okay, here, come right over." I think it's pretty cool.
Well, I can imagine. Like, there are so many things in like America and like Canada that I haven't tried. Like, so many different like even like different takes on recipes. Like, for example, every time I see it on the image, I get hungry. The Chicago deep dish pizza. That one looks like so interesting to me because I've never seen a deep dish pizza before. Like, what is that even supposed to mean, a deep dish? For me, from
It's
Germany at least. But
it's a wild it's a wild time. It's a wild time.
yeah, I can imagine. Toyaloi, hello, hello. Also, the analog. I already read that one out. Yeah, sorry, I forgot. But yeah, I can definitely feel that. Like, I know, I think in Canada they eat poutine. Is that right? We talked about it last year. I think it's named poutine.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like
Also
they're.
want to try it too.
Are you trying that one too?
I want to. I want to.
Yeah. No, they're like, there's a lot of American cuisine I haven't tried yet. Of course, you know, in Germany, everyone likes American burger. That's like the standard thing. Like, if you have a burger chain in Germany and you put like a little American flag somewhere, people are gonna think, you know, it's a really good burger because like There's the Angus beef, I think it's called. They're really good. The good one, the Black Angus. And then people are like, yeah, you know, this has to be really good. It's from America. At least here people think that.
Yeah. It's really funny to think like the quality of stuff from America, and then like in America, like the dishes are kind of like wild. Especially like if you think of, like fast food places and stuff too. Like fast food places are way better overseas than they are in America.
I heard that, but you guys have a lot more variety. Like, we don't have a Waffle House. We don't have like IHOP and like breakfast stuff. We don't even have like Krispy Kreme in Germany, at least. Aren't burgers from Hamburg? I don't know. Again, I just know that like at least in my city there were like a lot of places that offer like American like steak and burgers and kind of like meat-based dishes. And I know there's of course like New York cheesecake. That one's really popular. That's also from America, I gather.
Yeah, good. It's classic. It's definitely classic.
Yeah. So, Jsizzle, I want to know, what do you do when you try something and it just doesn't turn out the way you want it to? Like, you hit that dead end where you're like, oh my god, how am I gonna make this work? What do you do?
Well, I do what my dad taught me. He's like, son, if it doesn't work, make it work. And that's my motivation, essentially. Essentially just go and I try, or I kind of like those kind of mistakes as well, because it kind of gives me the opportunity to create something new from something that's already there. So yeah, I usually just try to either create something new or just like, yeah, that's it. I'll just create something new from it. If it's like really bad, I just make something new.
But do you ever get like burnt out? Or do you feel like sometimes you need to step away from cooking for a little bit, especially if you also do it as like your day job? That can be really exhausting, right?
Yeah, no, yeah, 100%. Sometimes I feel a little bit burnt out, but I also like that's also why I take the time to do the VTuber research, because that's why like sometimes it takes a couple of days usually for research, for, like editing and procuring the ingredients. So during that time, it gives me time to like actually rest.
I guess that's like a really good way to kind of like pace your workflow, because when you need a little break, you can always say, yeah, you know, let me just relax a little bit, do some VTuber research, you know, maybe discover like new VTubers. And you know, people love you on Twitter. Like, there are so many VTubers who look up to you and enjoy seeing your recipes and all that. So I can just imagine that part of it is also really like helpful to regain your energy, just seeing that people are excited for your next dish and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. It also makes me a little bit nervous at the same time, because I feel like, you know, because you see how good the dishes are, I feel like it's also a level of like expectation.
Yeah.
But yeah, that also comes in the kitchen, so like I'm used to that expectation as well.
That's a lot of pressure on one person. So Ghost Smoke says, there are a few places near me that fuse a couple different cultures of food. One of my favorites that I did some side work for was an Italian-Mexican food restaurant. They made me lasagna with a Mexican food flair. Really good. That sounds yummy. I like that. Sounds really yummy.
Actually, yeah, that sounds really good.
Also, XXXXXXXXXXX. Hello, hiya, welcome.
Oh, that's a long name.
That's a really long name. But there's one question I, of course, have to ask, but you don't have to answer it if you're not comfortable. Do you have like a favorite VTuber, or like a VTuber you'd maybe like to shout out, someone my community definitely should check out.
Honestly, ironically enough, I used to not to be able to answer this question properly because, you know, I say I interact with so many different VTubers, so it used to be hard. It's kind of like asking a parent of a large family who your favorite child is.
Aww.
But I think this time I kind of have, at least I have a lot of favorite VTubers, but I'm gonna shout out this one particular VTuber. So her name is like Angelina Kumalo, and she's part of like this group called Lucid. She is definitely one of my like favorite VTubers of like all time. I talk to her like all the time whenever I get the chance, and she's like super nice. We're both like super supportive of each other. Like honestly, like at first I was really nervous talking to her, and then over time I kind of consider her a friend. Like I told her she's welcome at my dinner table anytime.
Is it
Yeah.
Angelina Kumalo? Was it that one?
Yeah.
All right, I'll post her name into my chat so you guys can check her out. I'll also quickly find her stream link so the guys have an easier time just kind of, you know, finding her stream. Let me see. Where is their stream link? Wow, I'm not smart enough for this. I'm the kind of person like you need to have the link in the bio so I can find it. Ah, here. I found it. I found it. In the cart. Okay, okay. Let me post it here.
She's probably gonna. If she ever sees this, she's gonna flame me.
I think it's nice, you know. I think it's nice. You wanna shout someone out. I always, you know, implore people to share the content creators they kinda wanna get a bit more, you know, traction. They wanna show to others because in the way, you know, that's the way we all kinda get around as content creators. It's kinda like, hey, I think this person is cool. You should check them out. So yeah, that's also the reason I invited you.
She's gonna fight me. She's gonna fight me if she ever sees this.
Yeah.
Oh man, she's like, Jsizzle, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm sorry. I just think you're awesome.
You can just tell her you were held at gunpoint. So, you know, you had to do it. I held you at gunpoint. So, maybe a little sneak peek. We're almost done for today. We're really quick and precise today, but I don't mind that at all. But I want to know, what are you currently working on? If you can share, of course, if you can share. And how do you feel about your current project or the current VTuber you're researching?
Oh man, Kurt, working on? Oh my gosh, what am I not doing right now? Believe it or not, I have like maybe like I have a ton of VTubers I'm working on right now. Probably say like 12 right now.
Wow.
I just like in my pocket, just like me writing down recipes and me like studying them because I have a tendency of just like always having VTubers on hand or like on a list for me to like choose from, and I kind of like throw ideas and kind of like try to understand. Let's see. Well, I'm working one for, I call it doll, but she's pretty cool. Working on like a cheeseburger inspired dish for her because she likes burgers, but she can't have tomatoes because she's allergic.
Ooh, that's interesting then. Without tomato or ketchup.
Yeah, so it kind of gets that creativity, and I'm also working on one for Angelina and her entire VTuber group. I'm working on all of their dishes. So that's definitely a doozy. That one's gonna take a while, but I'm still working on it.
if it's for the whole group, I can imagine it will take a while. But
Yeah, I cooked for them before, but this time it's gonna be like individual, so that like they're gonna each get their own dish. So that's like 5 times as much work. But I actually like them; they're all really nice. So, like I said, they support me for a while. So it's kind of like my way of giving back to them.
that's really cool because I think sometimes when you see someone who's like in a big VTuber group, that can also be a bit intimidating for some. Because, you know, sometimes it's hard to approach creators who are a lot bigger or just like, you know, part of like a group or institution. And I think it's quite cool that you have this bond to the Lucid members, that you're all friends with them. Pretty sweet.
Yeah, no, yeah. Like I said, I mean, they're really. I mean, honestly, they're really approachable. It makes my life so much easier. Like I can just DM them and ask them a question, and they'll get to me when they can. But it's like it's. I kind of like talking to them. It's like having that nice conversation.
That's good that they're like down to earth about it too. Like, you know, for my podcast and stuff, I have reached out to a lot of VTubers, a lot of different content creators, even not only VTubers. And sometimes I get like answers back where people are just like, how much do I get paid for this gig? And I'm just like, oh, well, I just wanted to, you know, spend some time, but I can totally, you know, get when people have other things on their plate and other things they want to focus on. Unfortunately, I don't have a big team behind me yet where I can really like offer people a lot of compensation besides, you know, sharing them with my community. So it's cool to hear that the Lucid members are so down to earth and like easy to kind of like get a hold of, to just kind of have a nice conversation. Yeah, Tethira says that might be a manager talking, hopefully. Some people are really rude. Like you would be surprised if you knew what goes on behind the scenes. Like I've been told that I'm too small to collab with others. I've been told like, you know, hey, get back to me when you have double the followers and triple the views. And I just thought, ooh, don't do me like this. What did I ever do to you? But hey, you know, it's a good show of character, and that makes it really easy for me to decide if I actually want them on the podcast or not. So I'm not too hung up about it, to be honest. And Analog says, I find it easier to play with dishes from different cultures rather than trying to cook something traditional, since in this case you need to follow the recipe to the letter, like in Italian and Greek cuisines. Yeah, that's definitely true. Like in a lot of dishes, that's like the one reason that I sometimes don't like cooking according to like a recipe. I look up the recipe and you need like 10 different spices, 20 different vegetables, 5 of them who are only for garnish, and like a million things to create like a sauce or like a broth and all that stuff. That's sometimes a bit off-putting when I personally cook.
You know, it's definitely a yeah. I mean, tradition. It's there, but like I always kind of use tradition as a base, and they kind of just like mess it up from there. Is the best way I describe it, because I'm like, all right, oh, you have tradition? Well, I can't do that with all this stuff, so I'm just gonna create my own version of it.
I think sometimes it's even better to do it that way, like the way you're doing it, because I think there are some ingredients you can just substitute relatively easily. Like, if you don't have, like, it's a really silly example, but if you don't have a certain, like, expensive salt, for example, because there are tons of different salts and stuff, you can just use a bit of soy sauce, or like, you know, like a salty anchovy or something, like depending on what you're cooking, of course. But I think sometimes when you don't have a certain ingredient, you can find workarounds with what you have, and you know, it's not nice to buy something, use it for one dish, and then just kind of, you know, let it rot in the fridge. So I really like your approach when you said, you know, it's not wrong if it's your own interpretation of something, and you kind of discover the right way through trial and error. I think that's a really good way to go about it. I think that's really neat.
When you said you said left around the fridge, that reminded me of this one story when I was young and stupid. I was like 19. I have saved up enough money, and I have gotten this really expensive olive oil from France. It was like a truffle olive oil. I had it got delivered it to me. It was a lot closer to like it was a few $100s, few hundreds a stretch. It was like over $800.
Oh no!
I used it as a garnish for a chicken parm and just gave it away to one of my other roommates. And I was like, here you go. And they're like, this is expensive. And I was like, well, I only needed it for the garnish for this one dish. I don't need it again.
Oh wow. But at least, you know, with olive oil, you can still kind of like, you can weasel that into dishes. The only thing with truffle is, if you put truffle on things, the entire thing smells like truffle. Like, truffle is a really persistent smell, to be honest, like, at least to me. I like it. I really like spaghetti with like truffle oil and parmesan, kind of like, I don't know what it's called, but when they put the spaghetti in the cheese and like, you know, warm up the cheese, so they kind of like toss it around in like the cheese wheel and then put like some truffle oil on it. I really like that. No idea what it's called though, but you always see it in like TikTok videos and stuff, the pasta being yanked around in the parmesan cheese. But
oh yeah, I see that. Yeah, I forgot what it's called.
I think with truffle oil, the milder the food is, the better the oil will probably go with that, because truffle oil kills any other strong flavor. It just becomes truffle, just assimilates into the truffle hive mind. in my opinion, at least.
Oh, sorry, I can't hear you. I was like, I couldn't hear you yet.
Oh, all good, all good. It might be Discord. Discord is like a bit weird today. I had that earlier as well, that the call quality is a bit like hit and miss. But I'm still, you know, I'm still really happy you're here, and I feel really privileged that you took your time and we scheduled this. And I'm happy you took the time to like answer all of my questions. I have two last questions for you, and then we're also done for today. I'll take a little break, and yeah, we'll end the podcast there, and I might stream a little bit longer and do a bit more of a chatting. But the last two questions that I have for you, the first one is, which project have you been the most proud of? Can be overall, you know, any dish you've ever made, or can be like recently, something you recently cooked.
Oh, I think the most proud dish I've ever made was like, yeah, I think I can probably send it to you, but it's like this 3-paired cake, and it's my own spin off of a traditional like poached pear cake, but I didn't feel like actually putting the pears inside of the cake because I feel like it would be too heavy and sink. So instead, I just put it on top. So what it was, I had like 3 different layers of pears. I had 3 different kinds of pears. So like one layer of pear was apple pie pear, like apple pie style pear. Second layer was like fig preserved glazed pear, and then the third layer was cinnamon whiskey poached pear with like an eggnog sauce and like a lemon cheesecake filling.
Let me put the picture up for everyone to see real quick. I'll put it here. Look at that, guys. Look at the cute little mint leaf too. And I really like those little like swirly things. Swirly cream. I don't know what you call that. That looks so nice. Really pretty. Yeah, Discord's been having a day. I agree.
One moment. Sorry, I gotta get some more water.
All good, all good. But yeah. Basically what I was about to say, I really like the dishes we've seen so far. I hope you guys like them too. It's really cool for me to interview like a IRL content creator. I think so far we've only had like VTubers and people who are like, you know, like artists for VTubers. Like it was all kind of like in the sphere. So I think it's really cool to kind of branch out a little bit and interview someone who cooks. I've never seen this before. Yeah, I agree. It's rare to see, yeah. And if you guys like this kind of stuff, I have many more cool guests that are like expanding on this kind of idea. So yeah, you know. I think it's pretty neat. Looks amazing. Yeah, I agree. So we're probably gonna wrap up the podcast relatively soon when Jsizzle is back. I'm gonna ask him my last question, and then I'm probably gonna put up the BRB screen and we're gonna take a tiny break and I'll do a bit more of a just chatting. Welcome back! Welcome back! Hiya!
Howdy.
I have... Yeah, so I was just saying, I really like the swirly cream you put on there. We all like it. Looks really tasty.
Yeah, no, honestly, this one also was a wild trip. It was like, yeah, dude. Oh my gosh. Definitely needed water for sure. My throat was going kind of crazy. But yeah, honestly, this was wild because it was like, I had no idea what I was doing. I just kind of threw random ingredients together to like make a cake. And I was going off like a super old French style recipe. And I was like, I can't follow this. Let me just make my own with like modern ingredients.
It turned out so well though. Like I can see the different types of pears that you used. And also this little like the sauce it's on looks really tasty. Like I can just imagine how it tastes just by looking at it. It looks really appetizing.
Ironically enough, I am not like a huge fan of sweets. I am not a sweets person. I mean, I try here and there to like eat sweets, but like I don't like overly sweet things. I like things that are sweet, but like they taste sweet, but they're not like super sugary. They're not, you're not gonna take a bite and you're gonna go to like a sugar coma, you know?
Yeah, like definitely. There are some people who prefer more of like a fruity flavor over like a pure sweet flavor. I think like depending on the sweet, like when it's meringue, for example, that's like just sweet to me. That's like, that's too much. Oh,
yeah, just to answer Analog's question, it is not basil. It is actually mint. But I forgot what kind of mint it was. I just kind of grabbed one that had like a cool looking name. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was an African mint, but I'm trying to like, I don't want to say like it was like 100% certain.
Mint is a great way to kind of like add an extra dimension to the dish, I feel. Like herbs can do a lot. Some people don't use herbs at all when they're cooking. And I always think like, you know, why are you doing this? Like herbs are so nice. They're so essential when you like marinate meat or when you cook with vegetables. Like they're such a great way to just kind of add an extra flavor dimension to the whole thing. I sound so pretentious. I'm really sorry. I just really like cooking.
Oh no, you're fine. You're just really passionate.
Yeah,
Honestly.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It looks really nice. So, my last question for you today. Let me make this a little bit smaller. My last question for you today is, do your friends and family know of your passion and do they support you?
Neither. Nope. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, they actually do. They know all about my videos and stuff. Like my coworkers, my friends, my family. Yeah, they all support me. They're like, "Yo, your food looks good." They're like, "I don't know what a VTuber is, but go for it."
Oh, that's so sweet. I like that a lot. Like, my parents don't really understand what a VTuber is. Like the whole concept of streaming, like live streaming, they don't understand. They're a bit too old for that. But they understand that I'm basically like talking to people live and playing a game while I'm doing it. But they, the first thing my mom said when I told her I was live streaming was like, "Who would watch you? Like who would wanna watch someone else play a video game?" Like I think the older generations they kind of struggle to wrap their head around that. But I always compare it to sports. I always say, hey, you're watching a football game on TV. Isn't that kind of the same? And now she kind of gets it. So it's really cool that your folks and like your friends know of your passion. And of course, I bet all your relatives and stuff are really happy when you start bringing good food over and you're like, here, taste this. Like I bet everyone's really happy when you cook for them.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. It's kind of wild. I kind of feel bad for my roommates, low key, because sometimes like when I make these dishes, they're at the weirdest times. Like, most of the time I make dishes at like 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. when I especially can't sleep.
I just imagine you barging into like your roommate's room like the Kool-Aid man. And you're like, here, you have to try this right now. I don't care that it's 3 a.m. It's time for a cake.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is. I remember one time my last roommate, and I told him I was like, I'm gonna have a late night cooking session. So he went to sleep early. He's like, wake me up whenever you're done. And I remember barging in his room at 2 a.m. and I was like, hey, try this ratatouille.
I just imagine that SpongeBob gif where it's Patrick in the middle of the night and he's waking up. He's just like, oh bye, it's 3 a.m. Time for a Krusty Krab burger. I know the same. I like that.
Yeah. I kind of like cooking at night, especially really late at night. It's like so peaceful.
Well, yeah, for sure. Like that's the best time to get creative. It's like the best time to get the creative juices flowing and just kind of like for me at least, that's always the time where I start thinking about like what things I want for my stream or what games I want to play. Like the later it is, the more creative I'll get. And sometimes I'm in bed at night. I'm just like, I have so many things to do. There's so many things I want to try out, and so many people I wanna collab with. And there's so many things I need to take care of, and taxes too. Oh, don't get me started with that. But Tathira asks, what do your mom and pop think about the virtual people?
Oh, yeah. Like I said, my parents, my mom, she's more on the internet. So she kind of understands. She's like, oh, yeah, I seen the VTubers that you cook for around TikTok here and there. And I'm like, yeah. And I was like, I don't understand it, but I kind of get it. And then she's like, cool. But dad's like, I don't know what this is, but your food looks nice, son, and I'm happy to see you happy. And that's it.
Oh, that's so sweet. I really like that. That's really, really sweet. That's so adorable. All right.
Yeah.
I'm really thankful that you came here today and sat down with me. I'm sorry I'm such a excitable bouncy ball. I've been a bit hyper today. I'm really sorry. But still, thank you for taking your time to talk to me. And everyone.
No, thank you again for having me. This was really fun, actually.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm really glad you enjoyed it. And everyone, go to Jsizzle's Twitter and follow him. Do it. You want to see the amazing food photos. You want to see the next chuba he's cooking for. Definitely, please follow him on his Twitter. I'm gonna link it right away. Just give me 1 second. Hey, I'm so slow at grabbing the link. Yeah, thank you, Analog. Very good. Definitely,
it feels so
definitely
weird
follow
to see.
him. Yeah.
It feels so weird to see my name. Jeez, it feels so weird to see my name over there. Oh man. Yeah, no. There is one thing I will tell you guys though that I have not done yet, told anyone yet. People ask me why do I call myself Jsizzle, the Great.
Well,
So,
yeah.
the Great. Okay, so the Great is just because I couldn't think of anything else. But like Jsizzle. So the way I write it is actually supposed to be like a lowercase s and a capital I, and then like the two lowercase like z's, and then like the rest of everything's lowercase. The reason why is because if you look at like sizzle without the e, it looks like a pan or a skillet with like heat. If you look closely enough,
Let me
it's
look
really
it
weird.
up. Let me look for a second. Let me give me a moment. Give me a second if I can see it. Well, I can see it. I can see it, I think. Yeah. I think I see it. Oh, that's so
Yeah.
smart.
So it's kind of like that. But the reason why I lowercase the I because some people think it's an L, so it would kind of like confuse people. So that's why I was like lowercase the I adjacently.
Oh, that's so smart though. I would have never come up with that. That's such a cool idea.
Yeah, it's a wild concept. I was like, people won't see it, but I was like, I'll see it.
I think it's so cool that you kind of made, you made your own dent in the VTuber community in such a creative and positive way. And even like your branding and stuff, it's really creative and really cool.
Yeah,
There's
thank you,
so
thank you.
many there are so many like creators where it's like, it's cat girl out of the cat girl factory 2280. But then sometimes you have these like rare diamonds that kind of shine through, where you can really tell it's like something special, it's something out of the ordinary, something that deserves more light, and I think you're one of those diamonds.
Oh, geez, look at you, raising me up.
Also, hi Juju, hello. All right, guys, we're gonna take a little break here. Again, give a big applause to Jsizzle the Great. I'm gonna take a tiny break, and then we're gonna do some more chatting. So I'm gonna put the BRB screen up, mute our mics for a little bit, and then I'll see you guys in a little bit, yeah? So don't go away. Yeah. Bye bye. Bye bye for now. And whoosh. BRB screen is up. to change the stream category. I'll just do this for now. Yeah. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me a tiny second. I'll be ready. I'm doing something cool. But I hope you enjoyed the episode as much as I did. It's a shame Discord was a bit wonky. That's why I'm glad that, you know, I was able to ask all of my questions. I would have been sad if Discord stopped working. It's like the thing on like relying, you know, relying on like other programs to kind of work when you need them to. That was a good first impression. Well, I'm glad you liked it. I'm really glad you liked it. Now, let me get started here real quick. We can have a nice and relaxing chatting time. Oh, that looks so intimidating, the don't leave. That looks really intimidating. I like it. Let's see. Oh. And I'll change the song because we have been listening to the same song for like an hour now. I was Fushiki. Okay. Very good. Very good. Alright, this worked. And that means... I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready. Maybe I'm gonna do like, you know, like in a kids' TV show, sometimes they're like, you know, you have to summon the good character. You have to say, Stell, come out, we want to see you. And then maybe then I'll come out. Like in like a baby TV show. Maybe something like that. Alright, so. I'm almost ready, Something nice and calming today. Now let's see. What? It's there! Ah! I summoned Jsizzle with the power of primes. Yeah, you did. And I'm gonna reward your sub right away. See if I did it right. Yeah. Oh, the show settings. Oh no, I almost did it right. Hiya. Hello. Big shout out to Azure. Yeah. Welcome everyone. I thought you guys might like another hour of like a calm chatting. How about that? We have a bit of time left. Oh, press the yandere button on accident. What's up with me today? Hey, boss. Very good. Alrighty. Yeah, did you guys enjoy the episode? Did you guys have fun with today's guest? I certainly had. I was really happy. I'm glad everything worked out so well. Yeah. I'm always happy to use Shoost and just chat with everyone, you know, take it nice and easy. Alright, let me actually see. Did I do this right here? Yeah. Only caught the tail end of it, but it seemed fun. Yeah, the VOD is of course, you know, gonna remain up, so you can always watch the VOD. And I'll also publish it on YouTube. All my old episodes, if you want to see any of the prior Host in the Shell podcast, they're all on YouTube on the Jsizzle channel. So definitely feel free. It was a good time. Our guest was great, but you? Not really. Don't say that. No. So mean. Oh, very mean. Ah. I'm not surprised though. I'm not surprised. See, there's a song I want to listen to on this playlist. Yeah, this one. I think this one's nice. How about this? Oh, you like my YouTube stuff? I'm glad. There's still some embarrassing song cover that's still on my YouTube as well. But yeah, you know how it is. You know how it is. You're glad I deleted the video I did for Booba Day before it started streaming. I tried out my model and I did like a little skit for Booba Day and it was really embarrassing. Is it still up? No, I thought I deleted that one. Or do you mean the karaoke one? Booba Day, the day of the breast, the day of these babies. The singing, yeah, very good. That's the right answer, you know. That's the answer that earns you a positive sim interaction with me. We get like the green little icons over our head, and it means we had a positive interaction. Something else that everyone has to see. Oh, what is that? Booba Day is the best day of the year. Exactly. Oh my god, not the channel intro. The channel intro is so embarrassing. Like you can really tell it was when I just started to stream and I was a bit of a baby and I didn't really know how to properly use my model yet. Like you can really tell I'm just kind of like standing there like, I'm Digishell. My community is the Shell Shillers. I like Joe Swanson from Family Guy. The intro was great. Oh, I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it at least. I was unaware of any possibly more embarrassing VODs on there. Are you implying that any of my VODs are embarrassing? Listen, I did my best. I really did my best with that impression. Peter. I need to make a GIF of an introduction video that will kill you. It's incredibly stiff. Like it's so stiff. It's like unreal. How stiff it turned out. Some wise VTuber once said, "If you cringe at your debut, it means you're grown." Yeah, that's definitely true. I think that's definitely true. It's a good way to look at it. The singing is really embarrassing. Yeah. And that brings me to today's announcement. As you know, we're hosting a event next week. I'm gonna try to do a couple 8-hour streams, or as long as I can go, pretty much. And I was looking for fun things to do. And I wanna ask you guys, will you guys enjoy a karaoke stream? Karaoke? Karaoke. That's how I'd say it in German. But would you guys enjoy a karaoke stream? I found it really nice. Ah, I'm glad you like it. Doesn't make starting any easier. Oh my god, I'm so glad I archived my debut. We have to do like a debut rewatching stream at some point of like the highlights, because that is like the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen in my entire life. That one's certainly something, I tell you that. Karaoke sounds nice. Hi Shiki! Hello, hello! I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing absolutely amazing. Oh, you guys are all excited. Digioka stream, let's go! Yeah. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a nice time. We might sing some Weezer songs because I really like Weezer. Hiya! Hello, Johan! Don't worry, don't worry. We have finished our podcast for today, and now we're just chatting for a little bit. It was a nice episode today, but we had a bit of time left over, so I thought, I would just like to sit down with everyone and just kind of talk for a little bit. But yeah, karaoke. Are there any songs we're feeling? Any songs you want to hear? So my big streaming event is gonna be on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's gonna be a 3-day bonanza. Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. But I'm still looking for things to do. So on Friday, there is a game releasing, and that game is called Pocket Mirror Goldener Traum, which is an RPG Maker horror game, but they remastered it. So that's gonna be really, really cool. 80s and 90s, nothing else. I mean, there are some good Weezer hits from the 90s, but I think the early 2000s are fine too. Are you into Tamagotchi only or also Digimon? Yeah, I'm also into Digimon, like 100%. I can show you actually. Yeah. Oh, this is even the right arm. I'm really, really lucky today. Oh no, wait, it's the wrong arm. Yeah. You can see on my armbands, they're inspired from Bearmon. Let me put Bearmon up on the screen. Let me show you Bearmon, because some people maybe don't know Bearmon, so I'm just gonna quickly show him off. Wait, where is he? He's the poster thing of this folder. Why is he not in this folder? Okay, let me download an image of Bearmon. You guys will have to look at me for a second while I'm in this pose. Butterfly. Oh, Butterfly is a good one. I might sing the German version, so I hope you guys don't mind. I might sing the English or German ones. Oh god, I'm so slow. Okay, I found the image of Bearmon. Again, I know I have one saved, but for some reason, it's not showing up in the folder, which I don't know. I don't know why it does that. Okay, this is a JPEG. Amazing. Okay. Here he is. Oh, he's so small. Jsizzle, thank you for the sub. Hello. Our amazing podcast guest. Even Bearmon is happy, but yeah, as you can see, Bearmon and me have the same blue bandage. But thank you, Jsizzle. Thank you. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Let me scoot down again. That was a pause for sure. Aren't you guys happy that you've seen that, huh? But yeah, Digirap, no, we're not doing the Digirap. That one's too hard. The Digirap is certainly, that one's a bit hard, I think. You say no immediately. Yeah, you're the horny police. You're keeping me in check, okay? Yeah. So, let me write this down actually. I'm gonna open a text document real quick. Do you guys want to hear the Digimon songs? I'm all for that. We're gonna sing some Weezer. I'm a big Weezer head. I don't know why. I kind of regret it, because Rivers Cuomo is not a good person. Like, if you think about Weezer enough, it becomes a bit yucky. But the music's so good. The music's really, really good. Maybe some old anime intros. I think those could be fun for karaoke. I have some good ideas. I have some really good ideas. And then of course, Fly Me to the Moon. That's my pet song. That one always has to come with me wherever I go. Yeah, a new cover of Fly Me to the Moon. Yeah, I'll definitely do that one. The thing is, with Fly Me to the Moon, I had a friend who's really, really good at singing. And they always made fun of my singing. So I was really, really self-conscious. And, you know, it's the kind of person that, you know, played the piano for 20 years. We competed in competitions together as a team at like anime conventions. We used to, you know, sing songs together for like anime contests. But they made fun of my singing a lot, and I became really reserved because of that in my singing in a lot of ways. Yeah. Hi, waterfall. Hello, hello. Hiya. Yeah. But that's, you know, that's definitely like a part of it. So please be nice about my singing, you know? Please be understanding of my allergen infested voice. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Ghost. Thank you. I like the no. I like the no with like no, you know, like full stop, exclamation point, question marks. Just no. No. I'm certain your singing is as beautiful as you are. Thank you. That's really sweet to hear. Thank you. Of course, your voice is perfect for singing. I actually had a tragic accident. I had my tonsils removed. I had really bad tonsillitis. And after that, my singing voice did get a bit worse. I have to say, it got a bit weaker. But I practiced a bit, and I'll practice every day till our big digi party. I think that's what I will call it, because, you know, I'm not really doing a subathon. I'm not raising money for anything at the moment, at least. I'm just gonna do a party because the house is gonna be empty and I can stream for longer. So it's gonna be a digi party, okay? Of course, if you wanna donate so I can move to the UK, you are always invited to do so. But it's not gonna have goals like a subathon. It's just gonna have like an itinerary of things we're gonna do. Dang, your singing was so good it got nerfed. Funnily enough, it's still nerfed to this day because you know, they removed my tonsils because they thought this is like the reason I get sick all the time. And it didn't do anything. It didn't help. I still got sick after my tonsils got removed. Oh, give me 1 second. I had to sneeze, sorry. That bad in Germany? Nah, I just wanna live where my partner is, which is the UK, so I have to move, but it's gonna be expensive and hard. Thank you for the bless you, Ghost. Don't really need to practice, just be yourself and have fun. Don't think about I have to be great or not. I actually indulged a little bit. I got to Booth. Booth is like Etsy, like the website. You can buy like assets and stuff like that on Booth. And I might have gotten a couple cute assets for the digi party. So basically, the plan for the rest of the year is I'm not gonna get anything that's not for my VTubing career or moving. That's the only thing I'm gonna spend money on. No more takeout food. No more. I don't know what else I even spent money on. No more expensive clothes I never wear because I'm a hikikomori. It's only gonna be overlays, emotes, alerts, and funds for moving. So yeah, I'm gonna cut down like the fun purchases. Yeah, you're right, Ghost. Like you said, you don't have to ask. The people who can will help. Yeah, I agree. Like I don't really like asking. If people want to help, they can always help, and of course, maybe I'll host like a anniversary subathon in August, because that's my actual streaming, you know, anniversary. But for now, next week we're just gonna have a digi party, just, you know, for fun, because I can stream a little bit longer. There's one thing I constantly tell myself when it comes to treating others, and that's show them all your beautiful personality. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. That's really sweet. Oh, let me drink something again. I feel like my carriage is turning back into a pumpkin because my throat was doing so well during the podcast. I didn't have to drink a single time during the podcast, and now the podcast is over and you know, I'm like that picture of the guy with a really red face who needs to cough. I need to sneeze again. No, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. I need to hydrate too. The best way to express yourself is to be your beautiful self. Yeah, that's true. Thank you for the bless you. Thank you, thank you. Yet here I am with my problems of expressing myself. I think it's always a journey, you know? And I think by trying different things out and realizing, you know, if they stick with you or not, you're already expressing yourself. I don't think self-expression starts when you're the baked and, you know, finished product. I don't think that's really how it works. I think self-expression starts when you decide to put a foot out there and make that first attempt, you know? I think that's already self-expression, you know? So don't be too afraid. Don't be too scared. I think Jsizzle said it really nicely during our podcast today. He said, it can't be wrong if it's your own interpretation of something. Like, of what a VTuber is, you know? Of what a musician is, of what a cosplayer is. Like, I don't think you can really go wrong with anything as long as you're really giving it your earnest effort. The journey to being a master presenter and winning a competition that sets you up for college? Well, if that's your arc of self-expression, it sounds more than you're trying to kinda carve a way for yourself, you know? Which isn't a bad thing at all. Setting yourself up for college, it sounds like a really good thing. But I think self-expression, you know, self-expression starts with the clothes you wear when you go outside, because, like, you know, you're expressing yourself. Self-expression starts with if you say hello to others on the campus or in your school. At least, you know, that's my thought. That's at least, you know, what I think of it. My problem is that I'm expressing myself because that only got me into troubles. Maybe my personality is not great. I wouldn't think that. Like, you've been a part of my community for like almost as long as I have been streaming. So I think I'm a pretty good judge of character. I think your personality is good. I think you don't... I think you should, like, personally, because I know you a little bit, I think you have to, like, make your self-value not tied of what others think of you. I think you have to be kind of like, how do you say this? You have to be true to yourself, and that's the only thing that matters. And no matter what anyone else think, I think putting yourself out there, that's already commendable. Is what, you know, what I'm thinking. I think even if people push back to you, you should still continue to be you, you know? That's at least my idea of it. Very true. Plus, things are better when you make them your own. Exactly. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I may start my high school years soon, but it's never too early to start college prep. It depends. I have done so many things to prep for my future life, and sometimes things don't end up like you want them after the prep, you know? Like, my life had so many twists and turns and uncertainties, problems I had to face, hurdles I had to overcome. Might also be because, you know, I'm not from the wealthiest families. It might be a part of it why I had so many hurdles. But I don't mind it. I'm really happy with the state I ended up in, to be honest. Which reminds me, I still haven't finished considering what college I'd want to be in. Yeah, you know, think about what you like. Think about what you want to do for the rest of your life. Things that interest you, that drive you. Because I went to college for accounting. And I can tell you, after I finished my accounting degree, I have not accounted a single day after I finished that degree. So, you know, choose something you like is my advice for you, from one human being to another. At least you're thinking something nice for me, and I appreciate it, of course. I know you're really hard on yourself. I know you're your biggest enemy, you know? That's the state for a lot of us. It's the state for me too. My best options are Harvard and Cambridge. Well, I hope you get into them, but those are really like... That's really high prestigious. It happens a lot. Yeah, I agree. I agree. If both options don't succeed, I always have my two backups, which are Oxford and MIT. Wow, you must be like a really good student then, if you can go to those. Like, congrats. I learned the same lesson the hard way. Oh, my way of like growing up was so... My way of growing up was so turbulent, but my education is a mess. I did stellar A-levels. Like, I had amazing Abitur in my school in Germany, and I really wanted to go to university. But my parents said they couldn't support me financially through university, and they needed my help earning money. They didn't have the time to let me go to university and, you know, wait. And they didn't tell me that like that. I only found that out when I was a bit older. At the time, my parents used to say I'm too stupid to go to university. And I believed them because it was, you know, it was like a really hard pill to swallow. So I started going to like a accounting school, and I made a degree in accounting and hotel management, which is why I know so much about hotels and restaurants and business in general. Because I was a what is my position called? My position called is assistant hotel manager or something. Hotelkauffrau. So that is what I learned originally. But I hated it, and I was really close to not being here today, if you know what I mean. I was really close to not giving myself a future. So I decided to study graphic design, and I went to graphic design school. And I can tell you, I hate graphic design. Like, I like drawing. You guys might have seen my drawings and stuff, but I really despise like Illustrator and InDesign. I'm not a big graphic design nut. Like I know how to get around. I like to design my own assets, but I like even more to find an amazing artist and just, you know, commission a great asset that's better than what I can create. Waterfall has high dreams and expectations. Yeah, and that's really, really good, you know? Don't let anyone take those away from you. Just be prepared to be like spontaneous in your planning. Like be prepared that sometimes things are tougher than expected. How would you say that to a person? Yeah. It's like, you know, it's boomer communication. Yeah. And after I finished graphic design school, and I hated graphic design, I remember that I always really liked writing. I'd say I'm quite good at writing. Not the best, but I like writing. Writing's really fun for me. So I started to apply for a social media position, and I got a job, and I started as a copywriter, and I leveled up to junior social media manager, and I'm gonna get promoted to social media manager really soon. And I learned a lot of things through this job, and I'm happy I did it, you know? Like I'm really, really happy I did it. I have my own quote to motivate me towards my success, and that's, if you don't try now, why bother trying later by trying now? You can be ahead of everyone by trying now, so don't bother doing it later if you won't do it now. Yeah, just don't be too hard on yourself, you know? Like sometimes they're like, for example, I'm thinking maybe I can get a university visa. You know, maybe I could go back to university. I mean, you know, I worked in marketing. Maybe I can study marketing. I'm quite literally, unfortunately, already trained in like accounting and like some business things. Maybe I should go back to uni, even if I'm an old hag. For VTubers at least. If you could choose, what would you study? What you really wanted? Oh, back in the day, you know. Oh, my poor parents, my poor parents. When I wanted to go to university back in the day, you guys are gonna laugh at me. When I wanted to go to university all those years back, I wanted to be a marine biologist. I wanted to save the sea turtles and clean the seas. I wanted to, like, you know, help the ocean. That was like the one thing I was really enthusiastic for. I really, really like marine biology, and I'm quite good in biology, like in zoology. I have like studied that on my own time. It's a bit silly because like if you look up a statistic for like things girls want to go for university for, it's like it's marine biology. I think it's like nursing, but like on a really high level, so like medicine and stuff. And then the second is like fashion design or something. Those are like the top three like things girls want to learn in university, and it's always marine biology that's always there. Well, you have a lot of stories from your life to use as inspiration for writing. Exactly. And I always like to think that through all the things I went to, I learned a lot of empathy, and I learned to be a kind person and a nice person. And I value that more than academic achievements I could have. Because again, accounting taught me that if I don't like a job, there's no way I can do it longer than I have to do. Turtles! Yeah, I don't know. The ocean always makes me sad. Like, I really don't like how people are treating the ocean. And I think it also kind of had to do with like the microplastic craze. Like when people started talking about like microplastic and how bad it was, I think I was like, oh no, I need to help the ocean. That's at least how it was in the beginning. Waterfall already picked out 3 majors he wants to be in. Law, computer science, and rocket science. Oh, that's neat. I think the sciences are always like sought after, at least in my country. With law, it's like the hardest thing ever. The end exam for law is like the hardest exam Germany has to offer, I think. It's like notoriously hard. Believe me, I see way more girls taking a biology degree than boys. Yeah, it's really crazy. I don't know what it is like with girls in biology, like marine biology especially. You know, when I was little, I always imagined myself with like a little yellow, what is it called? Raincoat and a yellow rain hat on like a boat, you know, like a sailor. Because they say like if you Google like marine biology, like, you know, what is like part of the curriculum, it says you're gonna spend like half a year on a boat and do like field studies and stuff. And I thought, oh, I wanna live on a boat. I wanna be a marine biologist. Companies need to clean up after themselves first. Yeah, I think, I kind of hate to say it, I think the way like, now I'm getting political. I'm gonna cut my rant really short, but I think we're in a really rotten capitalist cycle at the moment. Which is why like streaming is literally one of the only hobbies I really like, because you don't need to buy materials for it like all of the time. All you need is like internet. You don't need any sort of like other like consumerist thing. I don't know, I really hate environmental destruction and stuff. One of my biggest fears, like when I can't sleep, when I can't wind down, one of my biggest fears is that humans will like overpopulate the earth, and, you know, humans will essentially like take up so much space and like take up more and more like nature spaces away to build like houses and stuff. That's like my biggest nightmare. I don't know, I can't sleep at night sometimes because I think like, oh, factories are running while I'm sleeping, you know? The capitalist cycle continues while I'm sleeping. Cars are driving all around the world, lorries with fidget spinners and emoji pillows and useless stuff no one needs. They're being shipped from one place to the other. And TikTok gadgets, you know, plastic, so much plastic. That's my demon. That's the demon I can't best, unfortunately. My problem at the moment is that I don't think I'll be able to finish university. It gets to the point that I failed more than half of my subjects. And I'm in my last 2 months, so now I'm trying to think what I'm going to do. Because here I'm playing with my future. My choices are, to say the least, difficult, but I need to fight, and the truth is, I don't have real support at the moment. Really sorry to hear that. I think there is always a way. And I think, you know, you learned a lot through this degree. And I think even if you would try like another degree, you have better chances of completing that now because you have adjusted to the climate that, you know, university asks of you. And I believe you'll be fine, you know. I'll always, you know, think of you and hope you'll be fine. Oh, Smoke says, well, I love hanging out at the beach, but unlike most people, I prefer it at night or in the rain. Yeah, me too. I'm a big rain fan. You know that, you know that. Also, saluda! Hello, hello! Space colonies. Space colonies sound cool in theory. But then you remember the radiation on Mars is like 30 times higher than on Earth. And it's a hostile environment. You know where I want to live? I want to live on the moon. With Wallace and Gromit and the moon cheese. That's where I want to live. My brother is majoring in sea engineering or something. Just live in the ocean. like underwater houses. I think that might be really depressing though, because you don't get enough vitamin D through like sunlight. I think that might be a bit dangerous. Jeez. Exactly. Exactly. I was always super interested in paleontology as a kid, and I've currently become the de facto paleo nerd in the museum I work at. Maybe you could look into working at an aquarium or something? I know the one near my hometown had a rescue and rehabilitation center too. Oh, that would be really fun. I'd like that very much. I need to see because like I'm bad at chemistry, unfortunately, even though I think that's something I could probably learn nowadays. Like I think I'm a bit smarter, or at least more diligent than my 16-year-old self, you know? I think I'm a bit more mature and maybe I can pick up concepts more quickly now. They say your brain only stops growing at 25, right? I'm 24. I have a little bit of time left, you know? Maybe that will work out. But yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Like, I want to just find a job that doesn't force me to peddle trash. I didn't mind working at a hotel because hotel means that, you know, people are going there voluntarily. They're just there to have a nice time, you know? That was like the reason I was able to stick it out, because I thought, you know, I'm not trying to scam them into buying something like a fidget spinner. Don't know why I'm bringing those up, I just find it funny. Mars is like necessary because, to be honest, we can't be good only in one planet. Yeah, I mean, this planet ain't gonna rock around forever, I'm afraid. Thank you. Our system here is, to say the least, weird, so I don't have many choices. The other good choices I need to pay, but I'll see what I'm going to do. Yeah. And you have time, you know? You definitely have time. I like how Johan says, I thought you were way older. And then Waterfall says, I thought you were younger. No, I'm 24. I am an old hag or a young hag, depending on how you want to look at it. But I started working when I was 13. So I've been in the workforce for 11 years. So that's why I think my opinion on work and work-related things will always be relevant. You thought I was 28? Oh. And you thought I was 22? Young adult. Do I brand myself anywhere as a young adult? Oh yeah, I think I said in the introduction, I'm young adult stage. Oh, I think I made that when I was 23. Or even 22. I might have made it a bit early. No! Oh my god, please let me remain a young adult. Please don't tell me I'm no longer a young adult. You're making me sad. You guys are you're roasting me right now. I've been working since I was 12. Yeah, I respect that. I respect that. Please, no. Please. No, stop. I'm a young adult. I'm a young adult. I'm a young adult. No. It can't be time yet. It can't be time. I saw a stream recently of a VTuber I really like. Their name is Picky Channel. And they had a stream and it said like, the title of the stream was Bittersweet Youth. Oh, bittersweet tears saying goodbye to youth. And it was the stream for their 30th birthday. And I thought, no! Midlife crisis. Well, that would mean my life would be really short if I have a midlife crisis at 24. Cal can be a young adult as long as she wants. Yeah, I'm LARPing as a young adult. The young adult is the friends we made along the way. If it makes you feel any better, I'll be 28 in August. That makes me feel a lot better. Makes me feel a lot better than people my own age and older are watching me. Younger too, of course, but I'm always like scared how I come across. When her hunger and happiness sets are depleting, I'm a young adult. I'm a young adult. I'm a young adult. I'm a young adult. Yeah. No. Waterfall has the worst power to those who are older than him. Yeah, you did it, Waterfall. I do feel a lot older. I do feel a lot older since this topic came up. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. Yeah. Vicky had a long life. It's a running gag. I see. I love Picky Channel. I die for Picky Channel. I really like their aesthetic. The second biggest plot twist about Digi. I'm again flabbergasted. I mean, the other plot twist is that my parents are from Ukraine and Russia. And I grew up in Germany, so I guess I'm like a multicultural child. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good, Analog. Recently, I've gotten a lot of TikToks and like reels on my Instagram, and they're all really depressing. They're all like, if you're 22 and you don't have your life figured out yet, don't worry. You know, you're still getting started. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm no longer 22. This doesn't apply to me anymore. Oh no. Maybe I can be like Marine, the sexy old hag. Sexy old hag VTuber. But yeah, I know the topic can be really triggering. Okay for me if we move on from this as well. One day my power will come back and age me as well. You're gonna be like the picture of Dorian Gray, where like, you know, your character will reflect your physical appearance. Funny, because everything I imagine is the complete opposite. Digi is German, none Ukraine or Russian. Digi must be 28. Nope, she's only 2 years older than me. So you're 22. Interesting. Interesting. It's interesting to hear how old everyone is. I hope I can stream till I'm like 40. At some point there will be a Digi MILF model. At least one that kinda, you know, like reflects my voice a bit more when I'm older. Well, is it close to that time anyway? Yes, it is close to that time, I'm afraid. Very close. It seems I'm good at reading people. I knew most of them. Oh, you mean age-wise? Good thing about being a VTuber is that I can continue to look like a cute vampire waifu. Yeah. That's like the cool thing about like being a VTuber. As long as your model like matches your voice a little bit, you'll be fine. You'll be completely fine. I think Iron Mouse is like 40. Iron Mouse is like relatively old if you really think about it. And you know, she's still doing really, really well. You know, God bless her with her health problems and all. I hope she stays with us a lot longer. I wonder how future Waterfall is doing. I hope he's doing well. 2 years older than Digigang, right up! 2 years younger, not older, I can't read. I see, so Azure is part of the 22 club as well. Digi-MILF, I don't know if this amuses me or makes me go. Well, Digi-MILF will just be like an older looking Digi with longer hair, I guess. Even though I think my character actually doesn't look that young. Like, I want to say, if you see my model, I don't think you think I'm a schoolgirl. Everyone's saying their age, and I'm like trying to hold myself not to say mine. I want to be careful with that info. Yeah, you know. I don't mind. For me, you guys are always you guys. Like, your age doesn't change how I see you. We had like one person in a stream once and they said they were like 13 or 14 and I thought, wow. I never like, you know, imagined that. But that's it, you know, it doesn't really change like how I perceive people. Okay, I guess sometimes when I know someone is younger, I always kind of try to put a life lesson in my stream, or at least give them good advice, you know? Like, I know Waterfall is a bit younger, for example, but that's parsable from the info that they, you know, they give to us with them starting high school soon and stuff. I can picture future Waterfall saying, I'm doing horrible, I won't make it to Cambridge nor any of the colleges. I mean, I kinda hate to say it, but have you looked at the dropout rate of those colleges? I think the way to success isn't a gradual one. I think even if you go to a college that isn't the very best one, it will still, you know, give you a really good basis for a good career. I think if you're, you know, quick on your feet and you're eager to learn, I think you'll be fine. I really think that. Yeah, I think with age and stuff, you should be careful, especially as a minor. When I was young, I had like a Facebook, and my Facebook said I was like, you know, 13 or 14. And I got a lot of messages from like older men. Never answered any of them because my parents taught me stranger danger. But it was really creepy, to say the least. It was really creepy. I went to a community college. I'm in the US. I can say I don't regret my choice. I met 2 of my best friends there. Yeah, it's the same for me. Like, I don't regret having a degree in accounting. I hated that. I hated doing that. I really did. I'd never want to account again. But it's definitely worth it for all the experience I got, and I really got to like understand myself more and what I need, you know? That's all I can say to that. It's very ew. Yeah, I agree. You were 10 when you created your Facebook account. See, when I created my Facebook account, I shared it with 3 other girls. We took turns using it. If I end up dropping out and I made a high position in the chess world, might have a beautiful chess career. Oh, that sounds really fun. My main streamer has a rule of, if you're underage, don't tell us, just because of some of the topics. Yeah, I think that's wise. Like, we never talk about like too bad of stuff here, I think. I think my streams are pretty minor inclusive, I'd like to think. But I have, you know, I have the rule disclaimer that if topics are too dark and stuff, you know, take a break at your own risk. Yeah, you know, keep working at a Waterfall, definitely. Very chill here, yeah, I think that too. I don't like excluding children because, like, you know, they're gonna make their Twitch account anyway. There's like no need to act high and mighty and pretend they aren't, you know, on everyone's stream. But I think you can still approach them with kindness and kinda, you know, give them the same chance as everyone else. But at the same time, you know, the same rules apply to everyone. So if someone's acting weird, regardless of their age, I can't, you know, I can't let my community be represented by that in a way. So I will act accordingly when I have to. All right. Who are we rating today? I'll post more things about the Digi party, by the way. I just want to see who's online right now. Who can I rate? Oh, Dempafish is online, but we rated them before. Dying is online, and they're having an emergency donathon. How about that? I think that's nice. Yes. Oh, Teo has an event. Yeah, we haven't rated Teo in a while. Let's rate Teo, actually. I like that. Yeah. But he's sleeping for 8 hours. Teo's offline. Teo's just... He has his only sleeping thing up. He's sleeping for 8 hours. Yeah, today was a good stream. I really enjoy this kinda... Close! I enjoy these calm, you know, these calm moments with you guys. I really enjoy them. You already got the egg. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you. It helps. If you only knew how much it helps, I can't even put it into words. It makes my life on minimum wage a lot easier, considering that basically everything is being used for moving or just for upgrading assets. So, you know, I'm really thankful people choose to support me, and I hope I can adequately give back with being a good streamer. Thank you. Oh, I'm close to tears again. Sorry, I'm close to crying again. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, it's all good, you know, it's all good, Analog. Yeah, I'm really emotional. Because visa things are hell on earth. They are hell on earth. But I'm doing my best. Alright. You wanna make me cry, don't you? Thank you, Ghost. Thank you, thank you. I don't know what to say besides I'm grateful beyond belief. I'm in your debt. Thank you. I just hope that I can give back and foster a community that everyone is happy to be a part of. That's, you know, that's all I hope. And I hope all of you have a wonderful day. Thank you for the bitties. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for being here and talking to me, spending time with me, watching the podcast. You know, I'm always happy to see you guys show up. Makes me super glad. And I'll see you Saturday is today. I'll see you on Monday. See you on Monday. I might host another chatting stream, to be honest. Yeah, thank you everyone. There are some things I want to upgrade, like emotes and alerts and all that stuff. I'll try to get it done this year, hopefully. Good night, everyone. Wonderful! Thank you for the sub. Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. You're such a sweetie. Thank you, Waterfall. You're really, really sweet. Oh. Johan! Oh, sorry! Johan! Thank you for giving Waterfall the sweetiest sub. Johan, you're a sweetie too. Thank you for being a mod, and thank you for always being here and popping in. I'm always happy to see you in chat and just sharing your Y2K pictures and old websites. It's always a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. Wow, an ordinary is still rocking the COD. I respect that. I respect your kill streak. Alright, you know what? We're never gonna end if we're not putting the ending screen on. I learned my lesson from last time. I learned my lesson. And thank everyone else. Love this community. Oh, I'm really glad. Really glad. Alright, I'm sending you guys over to Dying Desse. Please enjoy their emergency subathon. What? Yeah, Rain Parade! Thank you everyone, and goodbye everyone. I'm sending you over now.